Welcome back to Big Slack Off-Road. We're here today to talk to you a little bit about the Land Cruiser 100, which is also the LX470 skid plate system that we've developed. This is like none other. This is our skid plate that goes on the front. There's three sections on the front, middle, and rear. The front one is a 3/16 thick steel plate. It's reinforced by 3/16 steel, and that's a piece of 1-inch tubing in the bend because that's where your highest level of impact is when you're coming up on rocks on the front skid plate. So this is a heavily reinforced one that mounts in several locations. Mounts up at the front where your toe loop mounts are, mounts where your diff drop is. Your second skid plate that runs from your diff drop all the way back to our new cross member is made up of 11 gauge steel. It has 3/16 reinforcements on it, 2x2 angle, 3/16 on the side here, and you can't see it very well in the video, but there's a piece of 1-inch tubing just like on the front bend underneath the angle to take the additional impacts where it's curved at there. Now, we didn't have any problems with this in testing, being 11 gauge, so we've left it that way to save a little bit of weight given the size of these skid plates. They're made to touch on your rock sliders on the side. Most rock sliders are made of 2x2 tubing connected to the frame, so this edge is made to go right up against that. So you have your pinch weld, your rock slider, and then this skid plate sitting right up against it. There's a transmission cross member right here from the factory, so you've got support at your diff drop, your factory cross member here, and the new cross member that we're including in the kit that mounts where the torsion bars are here. This is a 3/16 system right here, and it's designed to quickly mount up your skid plates. If you see the second and the third puzzle piece together here on this with 4 weld nuts on it, so you have bolts only to deal with, no nuts to deal with. You have slots and holes cut out here for your torsion bars, much like you have access covers for your transmission oil, your transfer case check, your engine oil, and your engine oil filter on the front plates. Your third skid plate, another 11 gauge piece, heavily reinforced in the center, helps to protect your muffler, helps protect your fuel tank. This is a 3/16 ribs on here too, a piece of 1-inch tubing inside of that angle. It mounts on that new cross member, then it has several mounts across the back. This one mounts to the side of your frame. There's another one here that mounts on the edge of a cross member that goes between your frame rails, a center one and a side one, and a symmetrical one over there. What that does for you is it creates a nice place that if you land on a rock or you're just sliding across something heavy, and a lot of the way the vehicle's on this plate is, it enables the skid plate to do exactly what it should do. Helps you skid across it, not damage the vehicle, and only scratch the skid plate. This will support a significant amount of the weight of the vehicle. We go from the very front of the vehicle, right underneath the radiator, all the way back to just in front of the rear axle with this system. It's a very serious system for somebody who really wants to protect. Now, think about the protection level you're getting here. You're protecting your engine oil pan, your transmission, your transfer case. You're protecting your fuel tank, your catalytic converters. Can you imagine what a thief would think when they got underneath your vehicle and wanted to steal your cats and had to get through this? You're protecting your muffler, and this is sized to fit a factory muffler in it. We run factory mufflers on our trucks. It will fit in here. This is a heavy system. It weighs about 300 pounds. We expect that you'll need the heavier springs in the back and definitely have to crank the torsion bars on the front, and definitely use the heavier torsion bars if you can get them. There are these splash shields. They go behind the front wheels. This side helps to protect your refrigerant lines that run from front to rear. They also keep rocks and mud from piling up on top of this. Right behind your front wheels where you get the most amount at. They are bolted to a rolled formed angle down here that enables you to come off of a rock from your tire and essentially slide up on it on your skid plates, just like they should be able to do. Should be able to take the impact and the weight of the vehicle and not get beat around. Now let's talk just a little bit about mounting. This one mounts up to your factory toe loops in the front. It's designed to mount on there first. If you have a bumper already, they just make sure you bolt those on after that. And then this cross member here. Second to that, below the diff drop, there'll be weld nuts in it. They bolt up with these slots. You can slide it on those bolts that are hanging down, pick it up, bolt it in the top there. Your second skid plate has those 2 bolts up front, 2 bolts in the rear. Jack the whole thing up, run the bolts in and put it in place. Bolt your splash shields on. Your third one, 2 slots in here also, run your bolts up on it, jack it up, and put it over here, bolt that in place. So this system can be taken off or installed in the vehicle once all these mounts are in place in about 30 minutes. So if you get back from a big ride, you can take the bolts out, lower it down with a floor jack or a friend, hose them all down and clean them off, and put them back on. It's up to you how to do that. If you just want to leave them on all the time, that's okay also. Just depends on what kind of riding you did. Heavy mud riding, you will get some debris piling up in here. Lots of rock riding, we don't usually see that. All right, the system mounts to the bottom of the vehicle with these aluminum pucks. So this aluminum puck here enables you to ride up on a rock and not damage the bolt itself. So the bolt recesses down inside of that countersink. That way when you roll up on the rock, it doesn't damage the head of the bolt. That way it can still be removed easily. These come with the kit. Just a real quick review, what comes with the kit: front skid plate, diff drop, second skid plate, splash shield, cross member, rear skid plate, all the mounts and hardware. Stay tuned, we'll have some more information on how you actually do the full install. We'll do a full install video on a Land Cruiser. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the comments, send us an email, give us a phone call, like and subscribe. We'd love to sell you a set and help you get to protecting your vehicle a little bit better. Thanks for watching.